Hey guys, what's up? Here is Max. Many people ask us here on the channel how a Potara fusion between Goku God of Destruction and Vegeta Ultra Ego would be. The God of Destruction, Vegito. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how powerful this fusion would be. But that's not all. I'm going to explain the power of God of Destruction Vegito with numbers. And I'll explain to you how all the multipliers in a fusion work. Stay until the end of this video and you'll understand everything about how the multiplier of a fusion works, and also about the transformations of Goku and Vegeta. The video is very comprehensive, very informative, and I'm sure you'll like it. Let's go. Stay connected on the channel and let's go to the video.
Hakai.
Guys, in this video, I'm going to tell you how powerful Vegito, God of Destruction, would be based on the official power multipliers in the franchise. So, the things I'm going to talk about here are not just things from my head. They are official information from Dragon Ball. And before anything else, I need to say that unfortunately the Dragon Ball franchise falls short when it comes to the coherence of power scaling. And we can see many plot holes in the power levels of the characters. A very good example of this is Broly, who at one point was surpassing Super Saiyan God Vegeta, and at another point, Base Goku was able to withstand his attacks. But if we consider the general logic of character progression and set aside these plot holes a bit, we can discover how strong these characters would be. And I can assure you that your minds will be blown by their power levels. In this video, I'm going to analyze in a more literal way the evolution concepts shown in the franchise, and then we'll see how powerful these characters would be if we follow this official information. In any case, the goal of this video is entertainment, okay, guys? I don't intend to be the owner of the truth here, but I can say with certainty that you will probably learn a lot about how the official power multipliers work in Dragon Ball. And in this video, you'll find out the closest possible estimate of the character's power. And since you guys love this character called Vegito so much, I decided to bring him as the protagonist of this video. And since you love Dragon Ball Hakai so much, I decided to show you the power level of God of Destruction Vegito in Dragon Ball Hakai. But I can guarantee that you will not only learn about Vegito's power here, but also about the power of Goku, Vegeta, and even Broly. And when I use the term Dragon Ball Hakai here, maybe some of you don't know what that means. Well, Dragon Ball Hakai is the incredible story of Dragon Ball where Goku became a god of destruction. The Dragon Ball Hakai manga has already produced more than 20 chapters at the time I'm making this video, so there's a lot of cool content for you to follow. If you're not familiar with this story, you can get to know it through our website, dbhakai.com. There you can read all the chapters of the story. But you can also get to know Dragon Ball Hakai here on the channel because we've already made many videos about this story. All you need to do is to go to the channel's playlists and look for the playlist that talks about Dragon Ball Hakai. You will definitely not regret getting to know this story. And if you already know Dragon Ball Hakai and want to contribute to the manga's production, you can do so through our Patreon. With a small contribution, you can help us in the production of the story and also receive some exclusive benefits here on the channel. To learn more, click on the link in the video description. Anyway, let's start talking about the power multipliers in Dragon Ball, and then I'll give you a bunch of information until we finally reach Vegito's power, alright? But before I start talking about the multipliers, I need to explain how the power scale works in Dragon Ball, and when I explain that, you'll see the absurd dimension of power in a fusion. In Dragon Ball, having twice the power of your opponent is already a huge advantage. For example, when Goku arrived on Namek, he had approximately double the power of Recoome, meaning 2 times more. But even so, he managed to defeat Recoome with a single blow. When he faced Frieza, Super Saiyan Goku had a power level of 150 million, while Frieza had 120 million using his full power. This means that Goku was only 20% more powerful than Frieza, but even so he was able to completely subdue the Emperor in battle. So in Dragon Ball, being 20% or even 10% more powerful than your opponent can already make a huge difference. Now that we understand that, let's move on to the next important question: how much does each Super Saiyan transformation multiply the user's power? I'm going to answer that question using the official multipliers, and when you find out, you'll see how overpowered a Super Saiyan transformation is. The regular Super Saiyan, which is the one Goku used against Frieza on Namek, simply increases the user's power by 50 times. Can you imagine how overpowered that is? Just to give you an idea, when Goku was in his base form fighting Frieza, he had a power level of 3 million, and then after transforming into Super Saiyan, his power rose to 150 million. Guys, that's incredibly overpowered. And that's just the beginning because we're talking about the regular Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan 2 doubles the multiplier of the regular Super Saiyan, meaning this transformation increases the user's power by 100 times. So if Goku had transformed into Super Saiyan 2 on Namek, his power would have gone from 3 million to 300 million. And Super Saiyan 3 is even more overpowered. This transformation multiplies the base power by 400 times. This means that if Goku had transformed into Super Saiyan 3 on Namek, his power would have gone from 3 million to 1.2 billion. That's completely insane. And just to clarify, I know that the official power levels haven't been revealed since the Frieza saga, but even though we don't have the power level numbers for each character, at least the multipliers of the transformations have been revealed. So what I just said about Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3 is official information, alright? Now that we've talked about the transformations in Dragon Ball Z, let's talk about the transformations in Dragon Ball Super. Well, this time it's going to be a little more complicated because we don't have official power multiplier numbers for the transformations in DBS, but there is a way for us to know the approximate multiplier of each transformation. I'm going to tell you that now, and you'll see that it makes total sense. But before I tell you that, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subscribing here will give you a lot of Dragon Ball content, and you'll see everything here, from the most creative stories on YouTube to informative and analytical videos about everything related to Dragon Ball. Anyway, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, this is definitely the right channel for you. And also, like the video to help its reach on the platform. The more likes this video has, the more people it will reach, and then you'll help us spread our content and also help other Dragon Ball fans access this content. So everyone wins, right? Anyway, let's continue with the video. Now, let's find the multipliers of the transformations in Dragon Ball Super. And of course, we'll start with the first one, Super Saiyan God. But to get to the multiplier of Super Saiyan God, first we need to understand how the fusion multipliers work. And you might think I'm crazy because I started talking about Super Saiyan God, and now I'm talking about fusion. But I'm not crazy. You'll understand why I'm doing this in a little while. Well, the power of a fusion works as follows. A fusion in its base form is already stronger than the most powerful form of the warriors that performs the fusion. This means the following. Base Gotenks is already more powerful than Goten and Trunks and Super Saiyan, which is their maximum power. Another example is Gogeta, who in his base form is already more powerful than Goku and Vegeta in their most powerful forms. An example of this is the Broly movie, where Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta were no longer able to deal with Broly. But base Gogeta was able to fight him for a while. If Goku and Vegeta were to fuse today in Dragon Ball Super, Vegito or Gogeta in their base form would be more powerful than Ultra Instinct Goku and Ultra Ego Vegeta. Yes, guys, fusions are overpowered at this level. But now that you understand that, let's go back to talking about Super Saiyan God. After seeing Beerus' power, even though Goku couldn't measure his power through key perception, he was completely convinced that not even if he fused with Vegeta could they defeat Beerus. As you know, we have always seen in Dragon Ball that a fusion has the ability to use all the transformations that the users have. And in some cases, the fusion can even use forms that the user doesn't have. Gotenks, for example, can transform into Super Saiyan 3, while Goten and Trunks don't even know how to use Super Saiyan 2. So for sure, Vegito at the time would be able to transform into Super Saiyan 3 since Goku has that transformation. But in Goku's mind, not even a hypothetical Super Saiyan 3 Vegito would be able to defeat Beerus. But after transforming into Super Saiyan God, Goku became very confident that he could save Earth, which means that Super Saiyan God multiplied Goku's power to the point where he was superior to a hypothetical Super Saiyan 3 Vegito. At that time, Goku's most powerful transformation was Super Saiyan 3, which multiplied his power by 400 times, and Vegeta's most powerful transformation was Super Saiyan 2, which multiplied his power by 100 times. So Vegito's base power would be around 400 to 500 times superior to Goku and Vegeta's base power. So Vegito's transformed into Super Saiyan 3 would have a power 400 times higher than his base power. Multiplying 500 by 400, the result would be 200,000. In other words, the power of Super Saiyan 3 Vegito would be 200,000 times greater than Goku and Vegeta's base power. With all this, we can conclude with great certainty that the power of the Super Saiyan God transformation is more than 200,000 times superior to Goku and Vegeta's base form. Not much, right? But it's worth remembering that although this form is 200,000 times stronger than Goku's base form, the difference between this transformation and Super Saiyan 3 3 is much smaller, which is 500 times. So the difference between Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan God Goku is almost the same as the difference between Goku's base form and Super Saiyan 3. Considering that Goku classified this power as something beyond his comprehension, it is completely possible. And also, there are even more absurd multipliers in DBS, such as the 20x increased Kaioken in Super Saiyan Blue, which I'll talk about in 1 or 2 minutes. And since I mentioned Super Saiyan Blue, that's the very next transformation on the list. And knowing the multiplier of this form is very easy. Super Saiyan Blue is simply a Super Saiyan God transforming into a Super Saiyan. So Super Saiyan Blue multiplies the power of Super Saiyan God in the same way that Super Saiyan multiplies the base power. I've already told you here that Super Saiyan increases the base power by 50 times. So Super Saiyan Blue increases the power of Super Saiyan God by 50 times. If we multiply 200,000 by 50, we get the result of 10 million. That's right, Super Saiyan Blue multiplies Goku and Vegeta's base power by 10 million times. That's crazy, but it makes total sense. And I mentioned Super Saiyan Blue being used with the 20x increased Kaioken just now, right? So get ready to be blown away now, because I'm going to tell you how much that multiplies Goku's power. If Super Saiyan Blue increases the power of Super Saiyan God by 50 times, it means that Super Saiyan Blue used with the 20x increased Kaioken increases the power of Super Saiyan God by 1,000 times. And this is not my invention, guys. It's simple math. And I'm explaining this just for you to realize that these absurd numbers I'm giving you are not an exaggeration on my part. Power multipliers in Dragon Ball really work like this. Anyway, now we know the absurd power multiplier of Super Saiyan Blue, right? So let's continue with our logic. Even in Super Saiyan Blue, Goku and Vegeta got beaten up by Broly. And he wasn't even in his legendary form yet. This means that Broly's common Super Saiyan form is already more than 10 million times stronger than Goku and Vegeta's base form. And I would say that this difference was much greater than 10 million, as Super Saiyan Gogeta was having difficulty dealing with Broly, and at best he could only avoid attacks because Broly didn't have the intelligence to attack, and didn't have much knowledge of martial arts. And just a reminder, according to the logic of fusions, the base form of a fusion is already superior to the most powerful forms of the fusion users. So base Gogeta was already more powerful than Goku and Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue. I know I've explained this before, but it's good to remember. We know that when a fusion occurs, the highest power levels of the users are added and multiplied. But the problem is knowing the exact number of that multiplication. In the Dragon Ball Super anime, Vados mentioned that when Kale and Caulifla fused, Kefla's power was more than the sum of their powers, and stated that their powers was multiplied by tens of times. The problem is that this statement was heavily contested. There were different translations and so on. So for the sake of certainty, I prefer to consider the minimum, okay? Even considering the minimum, we can see that base Gogeta was at least 2 times stronger than Goku and Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue. So in Super Saiyan, with his power increasing by 50 times, he was at least 100 times stronger than Goku and Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue. If Broly faced Gogeta in Super Saiyan, he was approximately 100 times stronger than Goku and Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue, and he had all the power in his regular Super Saiyan form. But the interesting thing is that he didn't have all the power when he fought Goku in Super Saiyan Blue. He simply evolved and reached that level. And that's a characteristic of Broly, since in a few minutes of the fight, he evolved from being inferior to base Vegeta to someone who could withstand the blows of a Super Saiyan God effortlessly. So him evolving to the point of surpassing Super Saiyan Blue by more than 100 times is not crazy, right? So Broly in Super Saiyan form was more than 100 times superior to Goku and Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue. But how strong was Broly in Legendary Super Saiyan form? Well, Legendary Super Saiyan is a combination of the power of Super Saiyan with the power of Uzaru. Regular Super Saiyan multiplies the user's power by 50 times, while the Uzaru form multiplies the user's power by 10 times. If we combine these two forms, we can conclude that Legendary Super Saiyan multiplies the power of regular Super Saiyan Broly by 10 times. This makes sense if we think about the similarities of this form to Trunks' Dai-San Dankai form, which he used against Cell. But the difference is that in the legendary form, there's no decrease in speed. So, calculating the total power of Broly's legendary form, in this form he can be up to 10 billion times more powerful than Goku in his base form. And just to give you an idea of the magnitude of this difference, Goku in his base form trying to fight legendary Super Saiyan Broly would be like an ordinary Earthling trying to fight Majin Buu. In this logic, if we consider only the overall power level, Mr. Satan would have a better chance to fight against Buu than Goku in his base form would have to fight against Broly. It sounds like a joke, doesn't it? But in the Granola arc, it seems that Toyotaro decided to greatly increase the power of Goku and Vegeta, and it seems inconsistent when we think about how strong these characters have become. At the beginning of this arc, Whis explicitly states that there is no mortal more powerful than Goku and Vegeta, and as we know, this arc chronologically takes place after the events of the Broly movie and the Moro arc. In other words, Whis already knew about Broly when he made this statement, and he witnesses Broly's full power on Earth. So with Whis' statement, we can say with great certainty that Goku and Vegeta at the beginning of the Granola arc were already more powerful than Broly. And it's important to note that at the beginning of the Granola arc, Vegeta hadn't learned the Ultra Ego yet, so the most powerful form he had was Super Saiyan Blue. With that, we can definitely say that Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta at the beginning of the Granola arc was already more powerful than legendary Super Saiyan Broly. And if Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta already had that power, imagine Ultra Instinct Goku. But many more characters would surpass Broly in this saga, such as Granola, who wanted to be the strongest in Universe 7, so he automatically became stronger than Broly. And then Ultra Ego Vegeta, surpassing Granola. Granola surpassed Vegeta again by unlocking his second red eye, then Gas surpassed Granola, and Vegeta almost surpassed Gas. And then Goku surpassed Gas with his true Ultra Instinct. In short, there was a lot of power escalation in this arc. But now that we have an understanding of all this, we can finally talk about the power of Goku and Vegeta in Dragon Ball Hakai, and then reach the maximum power of the God of Destruction, Vegito. In Chapter 1 of Dragon Ball Hakai, evolved Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta was easily defeated by Ultra Instinct Goku. As it was a very easy victory, we can say that Goku was many times stronger than Vegeta when using Ultra Instinct. This makes a lot of sense as in the Tournament of Power, Super Saiyan Blue wasn't much against Jiren, while Ultra Instinct greatly surpassed him. Anyway, to simplify the math, let's say that Ultra Instinct is only 2 times more powerful than evolved Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, a 2 times power difference can be considerably large in Dragon Ball. So we know that evolved Super Saiyan Blue is on par with Super Saiyan Blue increased by 20x with the Kaioken. Therefore, if Ultra Instinct has twice the power of evolved Super Saiyan Blue, it means it has 40 times the power of regular Super Saiyan Blue. Ultra Ego was a transformation created for Vegeta to match his power with Goku's Ultra Instinct, and these forms seem to have a more or less equal power level when we compare their fight together against Gas. So if Ultra Ego was the same power as Ultra Instinct, it means it has twice the power of evolved Super Saiyan Blue, totaling 40 times the power of regular Super Saiyan Blue. I believe the multiplier for Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct is much higher than that, but I'll consider only the minimum, okay? Well, now I've reached the end of my calculation, so let's go on. If we consider that Vegeta in the Super Saiyan Blue evolved form from the Granola saga is on the same level as the legendary Super Saiyan Broly, this means that Vegeta has taken a giant leap in power. There's no denying it, Vegeta himself was shocked by the strength he reached in the Moro saga, and he even turbocharged his power while training with the God of Destruction, Beerus. But here's the question, how many times did he increase his power level after these trainings? As I mentioned before in the movie, Broly in his legendary form was 1000 times more powerful than Goku and Vegeta Super Saiyan Blue. But there's a catch, the transformation of the evolved Super Saiyan is 20 times stronger than the normal Super Saiyan Blue. So if Vegeta has used this transformation in the movie, Broly would only be 50 times superior to Vegeta. Why? Because 1000 divided by 20 equals 50. This means that Vegeta has become 50 times more powerful since the time of the movie. And check this out, Vegeta Super Saiyan Blue is now stronger than Jiren from the Power Tournament, and has half the power of Super Saiyan Broly. And to top it off, Vegeta's current evolved Super Saiyan has the same strength level as Broly in his legendary form. Now, as for Goku's maximum power in Dragon Ball Hakai, we know that his ultimate power is no longer Ultra Instinct, but rather that form where he combines the power of destruction with Ultra Instinct. Since Goku has a better mastery of Hakai and the energy of destruction than Vegeta, since he is a god of destruction and Vegeta is not, I believe Goku's power of destruction is more powerful than Vegeta's Ultra Ego. I think Goku's power of destruction is greater than Vegeta's because he is a Hakaishin. And as Vados explained, what mortals do is just a cheap imitation of what Hakaishins can do when it comes to using that power. But let's suppose that Goku's power of destruction is exactly the same as Vegeta's. In this transformation, Goku is combining the powers of Ultra Instinct and his power of destruction. So even if Goku's power of destruction were exactly the same as Vegeta's, Goku would still have at least twice the power of Ultra Ego in the transformation, as he's combining the power with Ultra Instinct as well. well. Let's quickly recap the multipliers of the divine transformations we're using in this video. The Super Saiyan God increases the base form by 200,000 times. Super Saiyan Blue increases the power of Super Saiyan God by 50 times. Super Saiyan Blue Evolved increases Super Saiyan Blue by 20 times. The Ultra Instinct and Superior Ego, at the very least, increase the evolved Super Saiyan by 2 times. So the strongest forms of Goku and Vegeta now multiply their power by 400 million times the base form. When characters perform the Metamoran fusion, if one is stronger than the other, the stronger one needs to lower their ki to match the power of the weaker one. Trunks, for example, had to do this to fuse with Goten in the Majin Buu saga.
Oh, well, in that case, Trunks, your level's a little too high. If you want the fusion to work, both of your power levels must be exactly the same.
Potara fusion doesn't require that, but let's suppose it does. So let's assume Goku and Vegeta fuse with equal power, with Goku God of Destruction lowering his power to the level of Vegeta's power. Yes, Vegito's base form would be 800 million times stronger than Goku and Vegeta's base form. Why? Because in the logic of this video, both Ultra Instinct and Superior Ego increase by 400 million. So if Vegito's base is 800 million times the base power of Goku and Vegito's strongest transformation multiplies his base power by 400 million, Vegito's total power would be 320 quintillion times stronger than Goku and Vegeta's normal form. This is the madness of the world of Dragon Ball. And guys, I'm considering over here a lot of things at the minimum, okay? For example, that Vegito's most powerful transformation would only multiply the base power by 400 million times, like the Superior Ego and Ultra Instinct. But it's likely that this fusion could have an extra transformation combining Goku and Vegeta's abilities, and that hypothetical transformation would multiply that power many more times. And I also deduced the power of Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego to be much lower than they actually are, since these forms surely have much more than twice the power of evolved Super Saiyan Blue. And that would be Vegito's power in Dragon Ball Hakai. But remember, this number is only how much stronger he would be compared to Goku and Vegeta's base form. The actual power level of Vegito would definitely surpass septillions. And here I'm only considering Vegito's overall power, without taking into account the abilities he would have, such as all of Goku and Vegeta's techniques, the special attributes of Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego, and